Hey folks, it's me, Curtis. A lot of you have been asking me about my latest rant on Facebook. Nothing new, right? Kurt's just off on another tangent, right? Wrong. This is all very serious stuff. And after much deliberation and soul searching, I figured out that I have quite a bit to say that's long overdue. And it's less of an angry rant and more of a confession. I recently let slip some of these things to someone I thought I could trust, and apparently I can't. I've since that dealt with a lot of hellfire, we'll call it, between the death threats, leaking of some personal information, phone calls, even a couple suspicious letters I received through the mail, and I even had one police cruiser that followed me. Though I have no proof that the police car incident was related, I have reason to believe it is. If you were friends with me on my old Facebook, you know it's pretty political, pretty anti-cop. Moving on, there's many things I haven't tossed at you folks' faces, mostly to avoid conflict. I know, laugh it off. I mean, me, avoid conflict, right. Well, I've had a lot of this information out there, and I know sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve, but unless asked, I haven't said, hey, this is a thing, until now. See, these people want to spread things out from their point of view, and that's fine, I guess. But better yet, I'm going to beat them to the punchline and just come out with it myself. All of it. This is the introduction to a series of videos I'll be making where I tell you all a fair amount about myself that you may have caught on to, but you probably most likely missed. Take everything here with a grain of salt. I want no pity. This isn't for attention, but it is time for my story to be told so you can understand what it is that makes me who I am. And first off, I was adopted. My brother Steven and I were neglected before I was old enough to remember things, and we were adopted when I was a year old, Steven being 3. We were adopted, and everything was great until I was about 5. And I'm not going to say who, but see, when I was 5, that's when the abuse started. I was physically and mostly sexually abused from the time I was 5 until I was 8 on random occasions. I know who did it, and I can still remember some of the things, but that's for another video later on. Enter middle school. It was always different, always picked on in 3rd and 4th grade, and it got worse when I went to larger public schools, and I mean, kids can be really mean, and redheads have received a lot of hate, much of it hidden for centuries. Seemed to explode again because of South Park, honestly. But it's always been there, and it's been very prevalent in my life. But enough with the little pity party, we're going to jump ahead to puberty. Because this is the biggest thing. Well, the second biggest thing, but it's the biggest thing that I want to start off with right now. See, when you go through puberty as a boy, and obviously sex is switched when you go through puberty as a girl. Your parents may talk to you about it, and of course, sex ed class at your school, you're going to start noticing people of the opposite sex differently than you notice people of your own sex. And a lot of strange things are going to be happening with your body, which for the most part, some of that is true. I mean, obviously, I'm a full-grown adult. I have a son, Neil Connor. So obviously, I went through puberty physically the same way as most other people. However, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, not the same. See, when they tell you you're going to notice other sexes differently than you notice your own, the differently part never really happened for me. I started noticing everybody a lot more. And I don't mean everybody as in every single person, but you know when a boy notices a girl and he starts noticing that she's growing and he starts to feel some attraction. And that happened on a couple occasions. However, same with boys and any other sex you can think of. See, this is the first time I've ever really thrown this out there. I've never lied about it or hid it. The information has been on my Facebook since I had a Facebook. Nobody seems to notice. I don't know what it is. I even had the good Christian teachers from my high school on my Facebook. It's kind of mandatory, actually. And some of them went through privacy screens. Anyways, over the years, a few people have asked. Very few, like 6 total. Nobody in my family, though, except my mom. Most of you know that my mom passed away from cancer on January 28th, 2008 at 4:44 in the morning. Years before, when she saw that on my Facebook, she asked me, why? Why does your Facebook say you are interested in men and women? And me being, I guess, the rebel that I've always been, I just gave her a look like, what? You haven't figured it out? Haven't you noticed? Got some sign about this freak that is me? And I just said, yep. Like, so what? And she goes, oh. And that was the end of our conversation. She took that secret to the grave. We never really touched base on it again. Which is kind of the first time I ever really came out to anybody. It wasn't much work for me. It seemed more normal that way, and that's who my mom was. Which is why I've never really wanted or felt the need to come out of the closet, or as I like to call it, the box that society places us in. Why do I have to come out of the box that you so desperately tried to put me in so that I can warn you so you can feel more comfortable or stay away? I've always been different. Always been weird. Probably even, just a little bit crazy. But I've never been in the box. I don't have to come out of the box. But here I am, and this is the best to coming out you all are going to get. I am pansexual. What is pansexual? I don't care if you are a man, a woman, or transsexual either direction, or all gender, or no gender. I don't care. If I find you physically, emotionally, psychologically, and romantically attractive, then I find you attractive. And none of it is based on sex or gender. As far as relationships go, as far as being attractive or attracted to someone in a sexual or romantic way, gender has absolutely nothing to do with it for me. I am gender blind in that sense. That is the root of the harassment I have received lately. I can take the police apologist attacks. I can take the death threats about a flag upside down in my room. But this homophobia, this panphobia explosion I've received that has resulted in them even trying to threaten my son is over the top, and is ultimately what drove me to make a new page and make these videos. But at the same time, you're going to call CPS because I don't care what gender somebody is. If I want to be in a relationship with somebody, come on now. But yeah, that's about the end of this video. That's probably the biggest thing I have to say. Stay tuned. Possibly in a few days, or at least in about a week, I'll have another video for you folks where we'll tackle some other issues. If you have any questions, please post them. Make a reply video. Post them below. Send a link to my Facebook, whichever email. Take care.